So the other day I'm in the park, I'm having a few beers. I'm on one of these adult play dates. It seems to be the consequence of meeting your relative new girlfriend's friends group. And I'm talking to this guy there. He's the boyfriend of one of my girlfriend's friends. Super open, super nice, super charming guy. And so he's asking me what I'm doing, and I explained that part of what I'm doing is I'm running the YouTube channel where I talk about denim and other high quality menswear. And from that he gets very interested because he really wants to know where he can get good quality garments. And he also wants to know what my thought process is behind purchasing what I do purchase. And it's something I never really thought about before because I guess I've been in this for so long that it becomes quite instinctual. But then going away thinking about it and also having the discussion with him that evening, I came up with 5 points, 5 steps that I always go through whenever I do buy a new garment, or actually a new anything. Guys, welcome back to the vlog. My name is Matt and I'm sorry about the voice. I got this flu that's floating around at the moment. It's not corona, thank God it's not corona. I did go and get tested, did the responsible thing, just to make sure. But yeah, I'm well on the road to recovery, but I'm still a little bit hoarse. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to just quickly run through these 5 things and then we're going to go into them in detail. So the first one is, will it last? Second one is, does it age well? Third one, will it fit into my existing wardrobe? Fourth, does it bring value? And fifth is, does it come from somewhere that I trust? Okay, first point here. And as you expect with the first point, this is our kickoff point that's going to inform the rest of the questions that we're going to ask ourselves afterwards. And of course, given that, especially with point 2, is it going to age well? Will it last? Defines whether it's going to age well. I mean, I don't care if you've got like the best denim, like the 18-ounce naturally indigo dyed by monks on Mount Fiji, woven together by artisans that have been doing it for 100 billion years. I don't care how good the denim is. If it's put together in a shoddy way, it's just not going to last that long, and it's not going to have the ability to do point 2, which is to age well. Now, for whatever reason, humans share more of an affinity. They make more of a connection with materials that get better with age, they get better over time, they get better with wear. I mean, take leather, take denim. I mean, those are 2 materials that they get better over time. You build your narrative into that product, into that material, and therefore you make more of a connection with it. I mean, a pair of raw denim jeans, off the bat, is going to look like any other pair of raw denim jeans walking down the street or hanging in the store. After 2 years of wear, they are unique, they're uniquely yours, they're unique to the wearer, and it tells a story of their life. It's the same with leather. Take a pair of Red Wing boots. After a couple of years, after 5 years, they're just at the beginning of their life. They're going to last for decades and they're going to look better year by year, decade by decade. And that is because we've made a connection with this because it's got the ability to age well. On the flip side to this, if you take a pair of Nikes, like straight off the bat, you're going to look down, you're going to look at your brand new trainers, and you're going to think, yes, these look amazing. After a couple of months, even after like one heavy night out, they're going to start to look shabby. Their shine is going to wear off. After a year, they're actually going to be falling apart, and you're forced to replace them. You haven't made that connection with it because it hasn't aged well. And this is something, especially when I'm talking to guys and I'm recommending them different garments, and different garments to what they're used to buying. And at a price point or a quality level they're also not used to. And I even struggle to explain it to them, and I find it difficult to kind of equate this because like straight away, like off the bat, yeah, there are better alternatives to raw denim jeans or a heavy leather jacket. I mean, a Jack Wolfskin jacket versus a heavy leather jacket, yeah, straight away the Jack Wolfskin wins. It's more practical right off the bat. It probably is more waterproof, it's lighter, it's more windproof. But the things that made that jacket good at the beginning, over time it loses its waterproofness, starts getting ripped, starts looking shabby, and then eventually, after a couple of years, you're forced to replace it. The leather jacket does all these things as well. It's maybe not quite as convenient, but after a couple of years, the value is just starting in that jacket. You know, it is waterproof, it's still windproof. It was maybe a bit heavy and stiff straight away, but now it's actually molded to your body. It started to patina with you and with your lifestyle. So therefore, that ability for that leather jacket to age well has given the value to that garment in the long run and on the long term. And that's something that's super important when it goes in the direction of me looking to put something else or bring something new into my wardrobe. So the third thing that I should always ask myself, but I'm uniquely bad at asking myself this question, and indeed there's pieces hanging in my wardrobe that will attest to this, is will this thing that I'm looking at, will this piece that I'm considering buying, is it going to fit with the other clothing that I have hanging on my clothing rail? And this is an important thing to ask yourself. I mean, I can't just go out there and pick up an extravagant piece of Balenciaga. It's not going to work with that kind of mildly rugged lumbersexual look that I've got going on just now. And I don't want to transition to that either. No matter how cool I find the details of whatever that Balenciaga, Craig Green, Margiela, whatever cool I find the details, however cool I find the underlying narrative, it's not going to work in the narrative of the clothing I have already. And therefore, it's just not going to work for me. It's not going to work with me. And I think, like, certainly in my case, and this is a uniquely man kind of thing to do, is to become very, very focused on the small details of a garment and miss the overview. So asking yourself that question, okay, is this piece going to look good with that? Is it going to look good with this? Is it going to work with that? Is very, very important before like pulling the trigger on buying something, on putting down your hard-earned money to bring something into your life. And speaking of putting down your hard-earned cash, you've got to ask yourself, is this thing, is this garment, is this item going to bring value? And this can actually be a difficult question to actually answer because it's quite multifaceted. I mean, on the face value of it, okay? I always like to break it down to cost per wear. If you've got your 2 pairs of jeans, you've got your heavy distressed diesel fashion jeans on one hand, and then you've got your raw denim jeans on the other hand. The diesel, I don't know how much diesels cost these days, like 150 euros. And then the raw denim jeans, they're 200 euros. Straight off the bat, you might think, okay, the diesels look cooler, they're cheaper, they're going to represent more value. But in the long run, over time, as I talked about earlier with are these things going to age well? Like 6 months, a year, 18 months down the line, I really imagine that the diesels are going to be long gone. They're going to have worn out. You got them towards the end of their life because they were so washed down. And they're just not going to last that long. After 6 months, after a year, those more expensive, those raw denim jeans, they're just getting into their paces. They're looking fantastic. You've put your own narrative into it. You've got your own wear there. You've got your own wear patterns there. And you've made a connection with this piece. Oh, okay, that's getting away from the point. The point was cost per wear. Your cost per wear is going to be lower because you've been able to wear these jeans for longer, over a longer period of time. So that can be seen as the intrinsic value to an item. The other side to this, not the other side to it, like the other side to the same coin, I guess, is the instrumental value of something. I have pieces in my collection that I don't wear very often, that they mean something to me because of a certain event that happened at that time, or because of my interest in menswear. I mean, the perfect example I've got right here, which is a pair of the Eat Dust Pecco boots. These are from Red Wing. They were the collaboration boots that Red Wing did with Eat Dust a few years ago. They're heavy, so I'm going to put them down now. Right. This boot, it's a beautiful boot, and it's a Red Wing boot, which means it's going to last forever and it's going to get better with age. But this is a hard wear. I've got to say, I don't wear it that often. Even though I really love it, I don't wear it that often. One of the main reasons I love this boot so much, and one of the main reasons that I find so much value in it, is I got this boot or this pair of boots, I didn't just get this one, I got two. I got this pair of boots when I actually took my dad along to the Red Wing store in Berlin when he was visiting to buy him a pair of Red Wings, to buy him his first pair of Red Wings. This is a guy that's very Scottish in his purchasing, and the thought of him spending or having that much money spent on him for a pair of boots was completely alien to him. But the experience of taking him along to the Red Wing store, to have the guys measure up his feet, to have that real service that you don't find anymore in stores, or it's very, very rare to find in stores, where they really take care of you and they take care of finding the perfect product for you, the perfect pair of boots for you. He'd never had that before, and it was absolutely amazing to see at the age of 70 or 72, I don't know how old he was, but to see him experience that and to see him start his journey that late on with that understanding of a product, of a garment, of what that could be. And along with that, I mean, this is the last pair of the Pecos that they had in the store. It was in my size. And yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer that I was like, okay, yeah, definitely going to get the ones for Dad. And also, like, alongside that, I tried these on. It rounded out the experience for me. It rounded the experience for both of us. We both walked out of the store with our Red Wing bags, with our new Red Wings on. And that's why I find so much value in this pair of boots, even though I don't wear them that much. So, as I said, it's quite a tricky one. You can ask yourself the question on face value, and I think it's very important that you do, is like, is the cost of wear of this item going to be lower than another one? And that's a very, very practical way to look at it, and a very important way to look at it. But don't feel bad about investing in something that maybe you're not going to get the most wear out of, but you're going to find value in. Okay, the fifth and final point I want to make here is does this piece come from somewhere that I trust? And this can have a couple of different levels as well. This can be like, okay, does it come from a brand that I know, that I trust to make their garments in an ethical and sustainable way? Whatever it might be. Doesn't have to be garments either. But are they making things in an ethical and sustainable way with the right thoughts behind it, with the right thinking, with the right motivations behind that brand? And is there one tier up, one tier down? Similarly, does it come from a store that I trust? I mean, the best way to explain this is to give you an example. Take Berg and Schild in Berlin. I can go along there and I can see a new brand hanging next to brands that I know very, very well. And because I know that store, and because I know the other brands, and I know the guys and their mentality and their motivations behind running that store and the motivations behind bringing a new piece in, I know that this brand that I've never heard of, I know it adheres to a certain level of quality, a certain level of ethics. So I'm okay, I'm happy to invest in that piece because I trust the store. So this vlog was actually meant to be about these. These are my blue and green chinos. You saw them first in the packing video I did a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I still definitely want to do a review of these, but after the chat with Ahmed and after thinking about like how and why I do make the purchasing decisions that I do, I also think that these are the perfect vehicle to just go through this list really, really quickly and just demonstrate it a little bit. So first off, will it last? Yeah, I'm pretty confident these are going to last. Blue and Green teamed up with Oni Denim over in Japan to make these chinos. And Oni have got a reputation for making absolutely fantastic jeans. And it's the jeans that I know, it's the jeans that I've had my hands on. But I'm confident enough with their ability to make garments that I'm pretty sure that these are going to last. And the second thing, will they age well? Again, I'm quite confident these are going to age beautifully. They're made of this like really, really tightly woven cotton twill. And part of the brief that Blue and Green gave to Oni was to make a pair of chinos that are going to age as well as denim. I don't know how that's going to roll out with these. I'm super curious to find out. But yeah, I'm confident these aging well, and I'm confident that they're going to last long enough to age, and actually I'm going to make a connection with them in that way. And that goes with the third point. Are these going to fit into my existing wardrobe? Are they going to go with all of the clothing that I've got hanging in my clothing rail through there? And the answer to that is simply yes. For one thing, I don't have a pair of trousers similar to this. And so there was an opening in my wardrobe for something exactly like this. And with the cut, with the fit, with the green colorway, it's going to go perfectly with my denim, with the t-shirts I have, with the leather jackets I have, with all the shoes and the trainers that I have. So it's going to fit in perfectly. It's not going to be a departure in any way from my wardrobe, so it's going to complement the rest of the things in my wardrobe. Okay, the fourth point, will it bring value? And the answer to that is yes. It's going to age well, and it's going to last a long time. So the cost per wear is going to be low. And also, I enjoy this product. I'm super curious about what Blue and Green have done with a brand like Oni in making a pair of chino pants. And I'm so super curious to see what they mean by creating a chino that's going to age and wear just like denim. So that curiosity, that using these as a device to talk to you guys, to bring you this information, to have these topics of discussion, all of this brings this instrumental value towards these jeans. So even though, as you can see, these are split new, I ended up not taking them away for, well, reasons I'll explain in the review, but these are brand new, and I'm already excited to wear them. I'm already excited to talk about these chinos with you guys. So they've already started bringing value into my life. So then this brings us to our fifth and final point. Does this come from somewhere I trust? Does it come from a store I trust? Does it come from a brand I trust? And both answers to both these questions are yes, yes. I know Oni Denim. I've experienced Oni Denim. I know their garments. I know their reputation. I know the stores out there in the world that carry Oni Denim. And I trust these stores to carry the very best. And I trust Oni Denim to make the very best garment that they possibly can. And so that's been distilled down into these chinos. And equally with Blue and Green, I mean, that's a very famous denim mecca that's got a reputation for carrying the very best of whatever it might be. And so this is their in-house line, right? So it's double trust. So even walking in there, and I would come across brands that I've never heard of before, I'd be quite happy to make an investment in something, in a piece that I really liked from a brand that I didn't know because it was hanging on the rails in Blue and Green. So out of all this list, everything is just like, everything lines up to mean that I did make the purchase of these chinos. Okay guys, the light's fading, my voice is fading, I'll wrap this up now. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was really good to see you again. If this is your first time here, or if you're not already, if you could consider hitting that subscribe button, that would be amazing. If you do, you can hit that bell notification icon as well, and that way you're going to get a message whenever I drop a new video. A thumbs up would actually really help out the channel. That does help with all the YouTube algorithm, blah blah. There's also links to our social media and all the other good stuff down in the description below. And guys, thanks again for tuning in. I hope you're happy and healthy out there. I hope you're taking care of yourselves, hope you're taking care of each other, and I'm going to see you in the next vlog.